Hello, this is Chris with PixelFreak.com, and today we're taking a look at the new Kemco game, Darkgate. So Kemco has a lot of RPGs out there, and I've played quite a few of them now. I really like their games, but I've never really taken a look at them yet publicly because their games take a long time to play and to really get a good review on. By the time I get a good handle on what's going on, the games are usually pretty stale. So this one I bought right when it came out. The game's still on its initial sale from its release. It's a half off right now. I think it's $3 out on the Google Play Store. It's a pretty sweet game. It's been out for about a week now. I like it quite a bit. If you like turn-based RPGs, Kemco, really good with turn-based RPGs. The trick being that they're usually on the cheaper side. You can't expect something, say, Final Fantasy type quality, but they're getting there. They're getting better with everything that they release. Their quality's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the game. I'm going to hit resume and go right where I left off, and I'll just start explaining things, how the game works and all the different systems in the game. Okay, so here we go. So I'm in the middle of the woods. Let's go ahead and go in the menu first, and I'll start explaining those things. This is a turn-based RPG, and there's an overworld, and there's towns, and there's dungeons. You can see here I've got 4 different characters. At any given time you're allowed to have 4 characters, even though you have a much larger party that you're able to swap out within town. Now, one of the really cool things about this game is the job system. Some of the other games that I've played from Kemco, they're usually pretty straightforward about, oh, this guy has this abilities, that guy has that abilities. And everybody has their own kind of roles. In this game, you can kind of customize that through jobs. So I'm going to click on jobs, click on Leo. Leo would be the main character here. So this is your job system. You have your basic jobs, your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and then special. Now special jobs, I don't have any of those yet, so I can't really speak to them. But we'll start at the basic ones. In the very beginning, you're able to be, everybody starts out as a master hunter. And then you mix that with another job, either scout, soldier, or supporter. A supporter is a caster, soldier is your basic melee unit, and scout's kind of like a thief, which it eventually does turn into a thief. Once you've mastered that, you're able to go to tier 1, and you can see here that I had actually gone from soldier to fighter or warrior. I've done both of those. And then as you specialize, you go farther and farther. Now, the cool, interesting thing about the job system is if you have a character that maxes out his levels, like for instance here with Leo, fighter and warrior have been maxed out. Well, now if I grab any other character, like let's get Kathy here, because she is not a fighter in any way, I can still be fighter or... Well, it's interesting. I can't be a warrior. So, prove myself wrong, I guess. Usually I've noticed that when one of them has been mastered, the other players, the other people can be that thing. There's warrior, there it is. But anyways, as you go through, warrior must actually require a basic of a soldier, which Kathy doesn't have. But your guys do, to a certain extent, share jobs. So as they master from one, they kind of share across. And it goes in, and as you go through tiers, they get more and more specialized. And this list that I'm showing you here is very much incomplete. Completely incomplete. Berserker, for instance, that's just like your tier 3 axe guy. Now your jobs also, they dictate what your skills are, but they also dictate your stats to an extent. So if I were to switch, let's say I switch my guy here to soldier. Now watch his HP, I'm pretty sure it goes down to 2300. And it says equipment removed because various classes also can only use certain equipment. It also pertains to their skills. So the way the skills work in the game, you're able to have 4 different actionable skills, and those are the ones that you pick out that are not your normal attack. For right now, I have a couple different sword attacks and an axe one. Whoops. And I just dropped one. So let's pick an open spot. So these are all my available ones, and because of my certain weapon that I have on right now, none of these are actually going to work for me. I don't have any recover magic, support magic, or attack magic. This is my melee unit. Do have a ton of abilities there, and unfortunately nothing under other. So if I were to go out, let's go ahead and put some equipment on him. I put a sword on him. Let's go ahead and jump back into skills. I bet you anything now, all of a sudden, Ultra Reverie, it's in there. Now we can go back to my abilities and I can put power on my Falcon Swipe. So now, while I'm fighting, I'm able to select these skills and use my MP to do that. There's also passive skills, which you'll see here on the right-hand side. And I'm able to equip, on this particular job, I can have 2. Now, I have 3 equipped, but the third one you see there is grayed out. That's because my job only allows me to have 2 passive skills at that given time. Cool thing about this is, as you get more jobs, you get more passive skills. It's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, where you're able to select the different ones of the jobs that you have completed, the ones that you've mastered. Final Fantasy Tactics didn't allow a variability in how many of those you could equip. It was always set at, I think it was 4 or 5, and they were always very specific. It was like one passive, 1 active. Yeah. Anyways, I'm digressing, I guess. Here you're able to pick 2, whatever you want. I can say, well, this is my sword guy, but I want to use axes. So now axes are equipped. And if I go back, equip him with an axe. Now if I go back into my skills, you'll see the ones are grayed out and the axe ability is now active. So I'm able to use axes as a non-axe wearing class. It's kind of cool because you get highly customizable characters. You also have your command skills. So here I've picked up a couple from the jobs that I've learned. We got Defend and Berserk. I don't even know what Berserk does. Oh, it pretty much does Berserk. From what every other game is defined as Berserk. How about Defend? Cool. It makes you more defensive, just like regular Defend. So each one of your guys has the same ability, same amount of slots. Yep. So that's your skills. Ability is just the use of skills outside of battle. So for instance, I know Kaffy here is my caster, so I'll click on her. Whoops. I just changed her row. Click on Kaffy and then go to not support, recover. And she has all the heal magic. And there we go. There's a very huge variance of heal magic, and I also have my support magic here, which is not completely support. There's a little bit of this that kind of, I think, lands into the black magic category. But as you can see, I don't have any attack magic, and that's because I haven't run into any of the attack magic classes yet. I'm not sure how to get them. I'm still working on it. I've been really sucked into grinding on this game just because I've been liking the job system. So equip, you've seen that. Status, I'll just show you that real quick. All of my guys, yeah, you can see. Status screens, just gives you your basic stats. Quests, what I'm currently doing. You can get quests in town from the various guilds, and I'll let you see that here in a moment as well. One thing you should see is if you see the JP on each one of my guys, like here it says JP -- that means his job has been mastered out. So I'm always going to want to keep a job that he has not mastered yet. So let's put him on champion for now. Let him master something that he hasn't. Oop. Come on now. So one of the frustrating things that I've noticed about this game is there are some interface issues. For instance, you've seen me struggle a couple times here with when exactly am I on the equip button. Like, equip has to be grayed out. Like, to me right now, I could be on equip, but maybe I'm not. If I click my guy, I'm going to end up doing formation as opposed to letting it go gray and then clicking it. Anyways, I run into that same problem with abilities often. It's just something about the interface is not telling me enough about what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, for me to actively make the right selection. And you'll see that's kind of a theme. There is a few times when that happens. It doesn't really impact the gameplay too much, but I find that I repeatedly am making the same mistakes over and over. So point and click. Now here's the interesting thing. Let me hit that before anything happens. This game is set on autopilot. So I know there's been a lot of games recently in RPGs that have brought up the auto attack ability. This game is set to auto attack in the very beginning. That's all you do is auto attack. If you don't want to auto attack, you have to stop it, as I just did. So this command skill, I'm going to tell him to defend. Now he's defending indefinitely. So he did take an action, but he should be defending from now on, I think. Come on. Did I do that wrong? Yeah, there we go. There, now he's defending. So you can select your guys and go into the command. This is one of those weird interface things that I was talking about. When you select a guy, it goes straight into his special abilities. The bad thing about this is that if I want to cast poison now on one of the enemies out in the field, he's he's automatically going to pick the closest one to him. He's not going to pick the one you want. So I'll hit poison and hit OK. Well, there's only one enemy in the field, so he's going to poison him. But if I wanted to get somebody in the farther back in the lines, if I select that afterwards, he's still going to cast on the first person in the line of fire, I guess I should say. If you want to attack somebody else, what you have to do is select your guy. Okay, now you have your guy selected. You have to back out, select the enemy, and then since we only have one enemy, it didn't really show here. And then I have to go back in, go poison, and now say okay. Unfortunately for the demo, I have leveled up quite a bit here, so I'm pretty powerful in comparison. So here we go. Here's an example. So I have to select my guy. Here I'm in my menu. Now I have to go back, select him again, and then go poison, and then now say okay. So now I'm able to get the back guy. And the front guy's already dead, so it kind of didn't matter. When you're fighting bigger fights, it matters a little more. So the fight system, though pretty deep and actually pretty cool, it's a little bit, the UI is formed a little bit incorrectly, I think. So this is how it works. Anyways, your abilities are dictated by those little red balls you see there. And so, for instance, Gurkha has 2 red balls. So he can actually make two skilled actions. And you consume the red ball, but you also consume magic points or mana points while you're doing skills. Now those red balls, they accumulate over the course of the fight, and it's kind of a way to stop you from using too many skills all at once. The reason for that is because skills are very strong in this game. It's very important, even though the game is on auto attack, you're much more powerful using all your skills and balancing regular attacks with them. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't either. Also, as a fast forward up here in the left hand corner, you have to hold it, but it makes the fight go a little bit faster. When you're in areas where the enemies are pretty weak to you, you can just let the auto attack take care of them. But it's kind of backwards from how some of the other Kemco games and other RPGs in general have been over the last, I don't know, few months, year or so, 2 years, where generally speaking, you use the auto attack a ton and you barely use your skills. In this game, you're going to need to use your skills or you're just going to get massacred. So there's something I haven't fought before. So anyways, it looks like my healer has no weapon. So that is a basic, this is a dungeon, I guess you could say. Let's go out and go to the world map. So this is the world map here. So it's a point to travel. You can only travel to you can auto travel basically from point to point, as you can see, as I'm doing here. But you have to earn your way to them. So when you start out right here in the center. And I had to go through this point to get to this point. When the game starts out, the story, it goes along the lines of there's these dark gates and something about another universe or dimension or something, and they're causing monsters to come into our realm or the fantasy realm that we exist in. And we end up closing one of the dark gates, but we had to go to these 4 towns, here, 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 and here, and recruit guys for the guild, which they brought into this town. And now I'm actually just done going to those 4 places. I've got my whole team assembled, and now I'm supposed to go to the dark gates and close them up. So you can see if I go into the town here, the towns are 2-dimensional. Almost similar to like Zelda 2 from the NES, where you just kind of go across. It's a single plane. Each one of these places actually has something going on, like the inn. I can go there, stay the night. And then we have, this is the primary, that's the mystery shop. So the mystery shop, let me get back to that one here in a second. This is HQ right here. This is our primary headquarters. So I can select my party from here, and you can see these are all my available characters. Some of them I've used, some of them I have not used. Seems like I had one more than that. I guess not. But anyways, and they all have different jobs that they've specialized in, and so you can kind of swap out. One of the kind of downsides, that at least this is a downside to me, I kind of like it when characters are gravitated in one direction or another. In this game, pretty much everybody is clones. Like, you can make one character whatever you want to, and then the next guy is going to be just as good at doing the exact same thing. So there's really no specialization among characters. You specialize yourself, and you can make anybody into a caster and anybody into a warrior. Melee character. And then Kane and Micah there, they are, or Mika, they are characters in the game. When you talk to them, this is what you get. So you kind of get this talking head. This is how the majority of the story is dictated to you, is through these talking head moments in the dialogue there. So let's go through some of the shops real quick. The mystery store, let's start there. So this is a paid app. This game costs, I think, normally $6 or $7, and it's $3. I think it's $3 right now because it's on sale. The mystery shop is an in-app purchase store. Now, before everybody freaks out and starts saying, oh no, paid content inside the game doesn't require any of these purchases. As a matter of fact, I've been playing through it, and I did change the game. I started the game out on normal, and it was requiring a ton of grinding in order to get even gold or anything. And it might have been the jobs that I had chosen for my characters were just a really poor choice. The weapons I had chose were really poor weapons, and I just wasn't doing well. When I turned it on easy, it was a much more well-paced game, and I had plenty of money. I didn't even think to go here anymore. But you can go through here and get various upgrades, various armors, different things, and it's not too expensive. But if you want to spend another $5 or $10, you can enrich your experience, but this is completely unnecessary. So that being said, I'm not even going to look through there right now because I don't know too much about it, because I've only browsed it a couple times and really wasn't that interested in purchasing things. So you have your weapon shops. Now, weapon shops across the different towns, each store different weapons. Now, when I say different weapons, of course they have different weapons, but one place is a sword store, the next place is the bow store. Of the 5 towns that I've been at right now, they all sell about the same level equipment, just different equipment. And the same thing goes for armor and accessories, different equipment for different jobs. Now that might change as I go, where the stores get better equipment, or I go farther in the game, change different maps and such. I haven't experienced that yet. You have your basic item shop here. And this is pretty simple stuff, various elixirs and healing items. I use those quite a bit in the beginning of the game because you don't have a healer in the very beginning of the game. It takes a while before you're able to make one. The healers are called deacons. At least the first level hero is. Healer, not hero. We got a bar, you can get some rumors in there, and then each town also has some houses. And I'm not going to go through those. So that is the town. And we're back at the map. So that's pretty much it for Darkgate. It's a pretty fun game. I've had quite a bit of fun playing it. What I really like about it is the fight system being backwards from what a lot of the fight systems you see today are, where the fight system is unfortunately inconvenienced by the auto fight. Auto fight actually makes the game less fun because you're not as engaged. In this one, with the auto fight being on all the time, and then it's like hurry up and select your skills or else you're gonna die. It makes those skills that much more fun. So that's Darkgate by Kemco. I recommend you take a look at this game. If you want to buy it, make sure to go head out to the store and pick it up now because it's half price out on the market. You should also take a look at some of Kemco's other games. They have some really cool little RPGs. Like I said, not the most enthralling thing in the world, but for a portable RPG, these are pretty fun and really nostalgic. Until next time, this has been Chris with PixelFreak.com.